Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q2 FY23 earnings conference call of Dhampur Sugar Mills Limited, hosted by SKP Securities Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Nikhil Sabu of SKP Securities Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of Dhampur Sugar Mills Limited and SKP Securities to this financial result conference call. We have with us Mr. Gaurav Goyal, Managing Director, and his colleagues, Mr. Anand Pandey, CEO, and Mr. Sushil Malhotra, CFO, and Mr. Akshat Kapoor, AVP Finance. We will have the opening remarks from Mr. Goyal, followed by Q&A session. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Goyal.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. Good afternoon and a very warm. This is Anand Pandey. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to everyone at the Q2 FY23 earnings conference call of Dhampur Sugar Mills. First of all, let me share briefly the industry scenario. The estimated sugar production potential during sugar season 22-23 is 40 million tons, which is marginally higher than the last year. Out of this production, about 4.5 million tons is expected to be diverted to ethanol. The domestic consumption is estimated around 27.5 million tons, which is more or less equal to the last year. Maintaining the closing inventory at 6 million tons, this would leave a surplus, sugar surplus of about 8 million tons, which will be available for exports. The Industry Association has requested the government to announce the export policy considering the same, so that the industry can enable to initiate necessary action towards sugar exports. I would now like to ask our CFO, Sushil Malhotra, to take you through the financial performance of the company. Sushil, over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon once again, and a very warm welcome to our earnings call for Q2 FY23. Now, coming to the performance of the company, our board of directors has approved the results for Q2 FY23 yesterday, that is 20th of October, and I am sure you had the opportunity to glance through the same. Our sugar sales during the quarter have been 0.97 lakh tons, as against 0.61 lakh tons in the corresponding quarter last year, and the average sugar realization in this quarter has been better at 35,434 per ton, as against 33,867 in the corresponding quarter of last year. The inventory valuation rate as of now is 31,500 approximately, as against 28,100 last year, and the increase is mainly on account of the higher SAP by 25 rupees per quintal during the season 21-22. The closing inventory as on 30th September 22 is 0.42 lakh tons, as against 0.82 lakh tons as on 30th September 21. Now coming to ethanol, during the quarter under consideration, we have sold 157.10 lakh liters of ethanol, which includes 2.93 lakh liters from syrup. In the corresponding quarter last year, ethanol sale was 191.34 lakh liters. Our consolidated revenue from operations during the quarter stood at rupees 650.8 crores, EBITDA was 37.5 crores, profit before tax 16.7 crores, and profit after tax at 11.5 crores. On a standalone basis, the company had a revenue of 615.5 crores, EBITDA at 36.7 crores, profit before tax at 15.9, and profit after tax at 10.7 crores. Now let me take you briefly through the business-wise performance. Our revenue from sugar business is 377.7 crores, as against 258.4 crores in the corresponding quarter of last year. Revenue from ethanol business is rupees 100.9 crores versus 114.2 crores in the corresponding quarter. The revenue from chemicals business is 54.9 versus 65.5, and revenue from potable spirits is 115.1 crore versus 61.7 crores in the corresponding quarter of last year. Our profit from sugar business is 10 crores versus 10.4 crores in the corresponding quarter, and from ethanol it is 27.1 crores versus 41.7 crores last year. The company has made repayment of long-term loans of 35.8 crores in Q2 FY23, and the long-term debt as of 30th September stands at 250.8 crores. Our current ratio is 1.35, which has improved from 1.12 as of 31st March 22, and the long-term debt to equity is 0.32, which has improved from 0.35 as on 31st March 22. Now, these are our financial numbers on a broad level. Now, thank you once again for joining on this call. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Participants who wish to ask a question may kindly press star 1 on your touchtone telephone. If you wish to withdraw yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Nimish Sheth from GT Advisory. Kindly confirm.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just a couple of queries. First is on ethanol. I'm seeing your presentation. I see that the ethanol production actually is down from 210 lakh BL to 151. There is no production from syrup during the quarter. So I'm looking now. The second observation is that at the end of the first quarter, I'm talking of FY23, you had 1.35 lakh tons of white sugar valued at around 31 rupees. And what you have told us is you've sold a little over 90,000 tons, the valuation of 35.4. So you made a clean sale of what, 4.5 rupees. Despite that, your sugar EBIT is flat, and it's 10 versus 10. And if you see Q versus Q, it's 10 versus 30. Could you just run us through why the sugar segment profitability is down, despite having such a healthy spread?
Sure. So thank you for those two questions. On the ethanol side, you are right that in this Q2 FY23, we all produced from 210 only to 151. That was mainly because for about 2 weeks we had an issue with our spent wash fired boiler, due to which the plant was shut during Q2. And that is the only reason why we have seen the lower production which happened in Q2. But I'm happy to now say that since then our plant has been running very, very stably, so we have no issues now on forward. But yes, Q2 we had an issue for about 2 weeks. On the sugar segment side, again, your question is absolutely right. The two reasons for the lower EBIT that you are seeing is, one, there was the government of UP announced a wage board revision for previous years, which for us had an impact of 6. Since 2016, they have revised the sugar wage board, and 6 crores was the impact of that which came on the sugar side. So we basically took that full arrears that have to be done for earlier years in Q2. Secondly, the molasses levy that we had to give to the government of UP, to the CL manufacturers, was at 18%, which in August 24th was increased from 18 to 20. The impact of that was 2.8 crores. So this is why that 8 and that almost about 8.5 went into both these areas, and that is why the sugar EBIT that you are seeing is lower than what it would have been otherwise, vis-a-vis last year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nitin Awasthi from InCred Equities. Kindly proceed.
Hello, sir. Would like to understand your current capacities on the ethanol front. What are your capacities on what in which route, and how are you planning to expand them, and when will the expansion come on stream?
So as of now, our capacity is 220 KL on C heavy and 286 on B or syrup. We have taken up 130 KL expansion, which is expected to start in Q1 or in Q4 of FY23. So from January to March of 23, we all do believe that our expansion of 130 KL will start. So our total...
Which route is the 130s on which route?
So we all have all options. We've got option of C, B, syrup, and we are also putting up 100 KL grain based. So at that point of time, we will have all options as to what we want to do. But the plan as of now is to start from syrup next month itself and to run syrup throughout the whole year till about May, till the time the sugar mill will run. And then after that, we will move to B heavy, and then we'll also see the opportunity of grain that we all will have as an option, whether to do B heavy or to do syrup with for 100 KL out of the 380.
Okay, so your first plant is of 220 KL, which is through the C route. Then you have a 280 KL, which is through the syrup and the B route, correct?
Yes.
No, there's just one plant.
The plant is just one. So you basically, the plant as of now, the 220 KL that you have on C, you can run 220 KL on C or 286 KL on B or on syrup. So the plant is the same. It is just that the feedstock can change.
Okay,
so we will run syrup. So we will run syrup till the end of the season, which is till around middle of May.
Okay, so you get a 40 KL extra if you move from C to syrup and B, you're saying?
Correct. You will have a 66 KL extra that you get if you move to B or to syrup.
Okay, so noted. 66, yes, 66 KL is more. So why would you run it on C? Why would you not run it on syrup and B?
No, we're not planning to run on C at all. We will run only on B or on syrup. We don't plan to run on C at all.
Okay, so that's understood. Now the next plant that you have is 130, in which you can do 100 of grain and 130 of either syrup or B.
So our total is 130. Out of that, we have the option of doing 100 from grain also. So that is just an option that we have kept. If we get the grains at a better price than what I can get for my sugar, then I can bring down my B heavy and make more of sugar and then use 100 KL for grain also.
Okay, and this starts the next quarter itself?
Yes.
Okay, any expansion plans post that into the next financial year?
So as of now, we are still working on that. When we will meet, when we will have our call in January, by that time we would have finalized our capex plans for the year F5 for 23-24.
Okay, so right now as of now, you are around 416 KL capacity overall.
On B heavy, yes.
Including the expansion that comes in.
Yes, it will be around 480 KL.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants who wish to ask a question, kindly press star 1. The next question is from the line of Anupam from B&K Securities. Kindly proceed.
Yeah, hi sir. So my first question is on the next, that is the current season that has started. How is the recovery looking so far, or any weather has played any adverse role, and where do you see any improvement from last year?
So, Anupam, still a bit early because Dhampur plant is starting on the 28th of, so just in about a week's time, and the Rajpura plant will start first week of next month. We had some late trains, as you all would have read about that, and that is why our delay got started by about a week to 10 days. But as of now, the reports that we have from the ground is that the cane seems to be very healthy, and we don't expect any sort of drop in sucrose as of now. So that is the sort of reports that we have got as of now, that the cane is healthy in both of our plants.
Okay, so basically we will see at least 70 to 80 basis points in recovery from last year, because last year was a little impacted.
No. Last year also we did quite well. So if we see even this year, we all had improved from the previous year. If we see for the whole season, but if we see, we all do believe that about 0.1 to 0.2 can be an increase that we can see vis-a-vis last year.
Okay, and
we all are like, if we see that Dhampur is at the highest end of UP, if you all see
right.
plants. So that's why, we all don't see a very high jump, but about a 0.1 to 0.2 jump is what we all do believe that we can get right now.
Okay, sir. And so I missed the first point. UP government has also revised the wage arrears. Is that what you have mentioned?
Yes. So from 2016, they have announced a sugar wage board. So most of the employees that are there are under the Wage Board Act of UP. So that they have increased retrospectively and that just came in last month.
So what is the impact of this?
5.9 crores.
Okay. So basically the wage has been increased by what percent?
No, it's not actually percentage. They have done slab-wise.
There are multiple slabs. And for sugar, it is with effect from 2018 September, and for October, that's 1st October. And for chemicals, it is from 1st September 2016. So this is the cumulative impact we are talking about for both.
Okay. So basically wage, from now on, the wage will increase going forward by at least 10 to 12%. Is that correct?
Yes, obviously, but these are the arrears of previous years. So obviously, it's like slight bit of wage will for surely go up, but it won't be very, very large. So it is not a very large impact because, this impact was for 4 years. That's why this impact all came at once. Otherwise, if you see on a year-on-year, an impact is only for about 1.5.
Okay, got it. And so, now that we are looking into syrup also for ethanol, and there has been a news in the government level that they are mulling to increase the syrup prices, and I believe that with the current margins, syrup is a little lower on the lower side compared to other grades, and to curb the sugar supply, we have to increase the sugar syrup. So is that why we are also focusing on that, hoping that the government will increase the margins and realization for it?
Yes, see, for surely everybody apart from just seeing margins will also have to see a sort of a macro picture. If most of those sugar mills do not do syrup and be heavy, we will have so much of surplus sugar, and then your local sugar prices would fall down. So we all have to do syrup, and I'm very sure that the government is fully aware of the fact that syrup prices are slightly on the lower side. So we are expecting a hike in syrup prices for the tender for 22-23.
That's my last question on the industry level. On the whole ethanol industry in India, how much what percentage are they doing B heavy, and what percentage would be C or syrup?
So see, as of now, if you all see that almost close to out of the tender that happened of about 470 crore liters, a large part of that was from B heavy syrup, and partly from and like a very small part was from grain or from C. So the maximum of that went from BAV and from syrup only last year. And this will only go up even more in the years to come.
Till it is fully commissioned and only C would be done for the levy molasses.
Yes, I think that that is exactly how people will try to balance that out, but no one will want to make ethanol out of C as of now, especially in UP.
So UP, some late rains have affected. Is it more on the eastern and central side? And western?
No, so the late rains which happened about 4 weeks back, they were all over UP. But with that, what just happened is, and thankfully there were no heavy winds. So see, the impact happens apart from rain, which has just delayed the start by about a week to 10 days. If there are winds, then the sugarcane falls. That is the worst part. But thankfully, there weren't any heavy winds, so the cane is still upright.
Okay, thank you. I'll join back in the queue.
Thank you, Anupam.
Thank you. Participants, if you wish to ask a question, kindly press star 1. The next question is from the line of Aman K.R. Santalia from Mugi Constructions Private Limited. Kindly proceed.
गुड इवनिंग सर.
अमन जी, क्या हाल चाल?
बस बढ़िया सर, एकदम बढ़िया. Sir, how is this red rot problem we are facing or the industry is facing, sir?
So, actually for us, Aman, we have no issue in both of our plants. We of red rot as of now. So we have no issues at all. We all heard about some stories which happened in various, in certain pockets, but they all still were very small. I think only East was impacted 2 years back, but I think that even they've been able to solve it to a larger extent. But western part of India is sort of, generally I think it is safe as of now. And especially for both our plants, we all haven't seen anything at all.
Okay, sir. And sir, how is the price outlook internationally and domestically, sugar price?
All depends on the exports that happen. As we know that we are already asking government to allow us to export about 8 million tons. We are hoping for the export order to be out very, very soon. It can be, I would believe it can be next week. It will be out. So we do need to export about 7 to 8 million tons. And with diversion that I expect, weight will go up from about 32 that happened this year to about 45 to 48. Next year, I believe that Indian sugar prices still should be stable.
It is very much like what is right now, is around 35, 36 ex-milk.
Haji, abhi I don't expect the prices to go. I don't expect prices will rise. Let's see what the exact crop is. But either way, during season time, that is the price that I'm seeing right now, 35 to 36.
Okay. And sir, what about this country-made liquor? Whether we are making any money in that business?
No, usme we are not making any money. That is just to save on levy. That I have to sell.
20%.
I will have to sell. So it is a sort of I'm making a slightly better margin than if I don't make CL. So it's just that. So I'm just trying to use as much of my levy into CL.
And sir, what about the cane? How much increase in production we can expect this season?
So see, Dhampur, last year we crushed 244 lakh quintals of cane. This year we are expecting it to be around 248. Last year Rajpura did 122. We are expecting it around 128 to 132.
Around 7 to 8% increase in total production.
G.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Amanji.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sanjeev Kumar Damani from SKD Consulting. Kindly proceed.
Namaskar, Gaurav ji. Am I audible?
Ji, sir. Ekdam clearly.
Sir, my respect for the founders of this company and the management. And for the first time, sir, I noted the prices of ethanol from waste and FCI rise. So is this a new policy of government announced, or it was announced years back?
नहीं सर, ये वाली जो पॉलिसी आई थी, it is now for the last year ही आई थी कि if you buy the damaged grain from FCI, then the rate was higher. So it was there from last year also.
Okay. So, sir, I mean, if you at all you can guide me on this, whether it is through tender route that the FCI sells all these products, or it is for the one who gives a higher price and can buy it from them.
सर इसमें दोनों ही होता है. FCI comes out with a tender also from time to time, and you can also approach FCI on your own to buy the grain. So both options are there.
Okay, sir. Secondly, sir, you have written in the presentation that the retailing of ethanol is requested to the government. So is it feasible, sir, to sell in the open market directly?
So see, this is just a plan for the future. So when we are talking about flexi fuel happening, EM20 happening, so what we also want to now try and do is if we can create some green fuel pumps, which only do that. So this is just a sort of a 5-year plan that we are already working with the government to start that process, because either way it won't happen overnight. So this is just a sort of a plan that is, and government is also very, very keen that, people start to sell on their own without IOC, HPCL directly. So as soon as the flexi fuel comes in, as you would have just read, just a few weeks back, Gadkari Saab launched the first FFE. So the same thing. So now FFE is the future that we have seen also in other parts of the world. So same thing, agar FFE aata hai, then we can also have separate petrol pumps which can directly give for these cars. But it is a slightly long term. So this is just a plan which is now in action.
Okay. So, sir, can you kindly confirm for me whether this vehicle, 100% ethanol-based vehicle can also be manufactured and run on the road, or only blending is necessary?
Ekdam. It's like it's happening in other parts of the world. So India is also going through the same path.
Okay, sir. Last question, sir. The local prices of ENA have gone so much high that industry would prefer to supply only if the prices are raised. Otherwise, industry may sell it in the open market. So that is why we are requesting government to raise the prices, or it is not correct that the local prices are not higher. I'm given to understand that the ENA price in North is 60 rupees for 3 grade in the open market.
ENA prices have for surely gone up in the last few weeks, in the last 6 weeks. But see, this always happens during Yevala time. But if we want to have a long term, ENA prices won't stay at Yevala. So I would still say it is beneficial for everyone to tie up their contract with the OMCs, because this you will only get for a few weeks or like 1 or 2 months in the whole year. So you should not plan your business plan iske hisab se.
Right, sir. Sir, last time when we had
contract at a price.
So in the beginning of the sugar season, the prices goes down and then they gradually rise towards the end of the season. That's it.
Prices go up and down, also seeing globally kya like ho raha hai. So it is not just India, because ENA import bhi hota hai.
Okay, got it, sir. You guided me well, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. To ask a question, kindly press star 1. The next question is from the line of Udit Gupta, an individual investor. Kindly proceed.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is, with the increase in the levy molasses, sir, what was the impact that you just said? Like, I couldn't get that figure.
2.8 crores.
2.8. So, sir, this would be an annual impact, because this is like going forward.
Again, with it, we all have no idea as to what will be the excise policy for 22, 20, 2023. But it isn't still out. But we are talking to government of UP to sort of make it slightly more rationalized, because the amount of levy, if it keeps on going up, that is a lesser amount of contracts I can do with the OMCs. So I think that the government of UP is also sort of aware of the fact. So I'm hoping that this levy is sort of rationalized for the year 22-23. But I really can't comment on that as of now.
Sir, if we assume that it stays at 20%, sir, then roughly the impact would be this one?
This is the increased impact. This is the impact which has gone up earlier. The levy was at 18.
This is the 2% impact. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, the other thing was, earlier you had said that the expansion is expected to be completed in January. Sir, when are we looking at the completion now, sir?
January is still our date. Where we hope to finish our expansion. But it might go up by about a few weeks as of now. We are having supplies. There are some issues. But we are still, there was also, because of there was a very heavy impact of rains also. So we had very heavy rains for almost about 3 to 4 weeks. That also impacted our work. But for surely in March of 2023, we will be able to finish our full plant, and we may be able to improve on a few weeks. Working very, very hard, still trying for Jan-Feb date.
I get your point, sir. And so the other part is, after the expansion, sir, in terms of liters and the increase in levy molasses, so how many liters do we expect to produce in a full year?
So actually, our plant will become 380 KL and on C. So we are expecting to produce about 14 crore liters.
So after deducting for the levy molasses and all that?
No, total. So if you take,
So how much can you supply to the OMC? So
you will basically take out 20% of that. So about say 1 crore. About a crore and a half you take out of it. So about 12.5 we can give to the OMCs, and 1.5 will go to for ENA.
I get your point. And sir, how the inventory that we are holding in September, sir? So what is the valuation of that inventory?
31,500.
31. Thank you, sir. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Anupam from B&K Securities. Kindly proceed.
Hi, sir. Sir, you mentioned about the export, and what I understand, 8 to 9 million ton we have to export, and we haven't started yet for this season. But now that Brazilian also and Thailand are also coming to the market, and I think they will hit the market from April. Do we think that we can easily export how we did in the last year?
Yes, Anupam, I think that if this export is out next week, as of now the shortage is from now till April. As you said rightly, that Brazil and Thailand will come in only after April. We still have full 6 months time as of now to export. And even if we export 1.2 or 1.3 million tons a month, we can reach up to 7 or 8 by April. So I don't expect that to be an issue at all. The world needs Indian sugar as of now. Till March there is a huge shortage globally. So I'm very sure that India will be able to manage its export during these 6 months.
Okay. And the dollar rate will also be favorable for the exporters?
Yes, as of now it is. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aman K.R. Santalia from Yugi Constructions Private Limited. Kindly proceed.
Sir, whether the government is planning to increase the MSP also?
Amanji, I haven't heard about it. There have been some talks, but I don't think it is happening as of now.
Okay. And sir, this late rainfall, whether it has impacted the eastern UP more than the western UP?
See, West Smith, I can say that in our plants there hasn't been any major impact apart from that our plants is now going to start about a week late. But East also, when I spoke to everybody, they are also saying that the crop is quite healthy there. So even there, I don't see any major impact of these late rains. Even they may like get late by about a week in days, but that's it. I'm not seeing any other change in UP.
All over UP, there is no major impact.
See,
okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Participants, if you wish to ask a question, kindly press *1. To ask a question, you may press *1 on your touchtone telephone. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Goel for closing comments.
So I'm Sushil Mehrotra. So on behalf of Dhampur Sugar Mills Limited, we would like to once again thank all of you for taking your time out for this conference call. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us either by phone or by email. You can also visit our website www.dhampursugar.com. Post any queries you may have, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. On behalf of SKP Securities Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect.